Hey everyone, it's Kirk McLean here, and you're watching Clay's Canucks Commentary.
Good morning, Canucks fans, and welcome to Clay M Canucks Commentary. That's Clay in the AM Canucks Commentary for Friday morning, November the 21st, presented to you by Van City Experts Real Estate. I'm your host, Clay, Emo Canuck Clay, and this is my Canucks take, all in one take. Again, for Friday, November the 21st. If you're new, here's what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now for daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. Welcome to my third ever Clay M show. Yes, I started earlier this week, and I've now covered 2 losses and a win. I started off by covering the exciting win over Tampa, and then the debacle against Florida. And then last night certainly wasn't a debacle. The Canucks actually played well, probably the better team, tip to tip, but they come out on the losing end of a 4-2 decision to the visiting Dallas Stars, who are certainly a juggernaut for sure. I missed the real morning stream because of school, and I'm here now. Oh, because of school. So you meant your morning. It's reversed for Jackie in Sweden. His morning's our night. Our night is his morning, and anything else in between is backwards. So thank you, Jackie, for being here. Thank you, Simon. Thank you, C Edits. I see Swervin Yrvin in the chat as well, maybe boiling up some ravioli as we speak. And I'm so glad that all of you are here. Moderators, do what you need to do to keep this a safe and respectful place. Members, that's Legends Hall of Fame and franchise members, thanks for your support. And to everyone else, no matter where you're watching from, whether my beautiful neighborhood of Steveston and Richmond, in the city, Lower Mainland province, country, continent, around the world, thank you for being here. You know that I know that you could be doing anything else, watching or else, getting ready for work or school or both. But the fact that you're here with me, know how much I always appreciate you, know how much I never ever take you for granted. So just because it's a morning show doesn't mean you can't do these things. Subscribe to the channel, get active in the chat section. You can like the video, like the fact that we are powering through with these morning shows. And tonight, kudos to all of you. It's 15 minutes earlier than usual because I got to be out my door at 5 after 8. You can leave a donation. No, actually, you can like the video first. I think I said that already. And like the fact that Canucks played well yesterday. You can leave a donation and get the donation train out of the station. You can gift a membership, buy your own membership, upgrade your membership, use your monthly membership message. And if you're listening on a podcast platform, you can certainly rate and review. Although I just realized that I never post these morning shows up on Spotify. So let's get going. The Canucks lose 4-2 yesterday, 2-2 going into the third, and then they end up losing the game 4-2. We're going to talk about what I liked, what I didn't like, and one other thing, and what they were saying. So that's kind of how I differentiate these morning shows from my evening shows. Evening shows, more of analysis on goals, on players, box score, around the league, blah, blah, blah. This morning, because it's only half an hour, it's pretty punchy, it's pretty quick, and it's pretty to the point, which can be a challenge for me. No, I don't ramble. I just like to hear my own voice. What did I like? All right. I like the Canucks game overall. That's first and foremost. And one might look at the box score and say, well, the Canucks must have sucked in the third period because they were outscored 2-0. No, they actually controlled many parts of the third period. So I think it's shallow analysis to say that, the Canucks were dominant in the first and second period, but then they weren't good in the third. It's not true. It's actually not true. They were fine in the third period as well. They did get outscored twice, 2-0, but they did not have a bad third period. And Adam Foote said that. I'll get to that in a couple of minutes. By the way, this guy, Tyler, who I went to the game with, which is awesome, he started a show at 1 a.m. He finished at 3:30 a.m. They went for 2.5 hours. And it looks like he didn't even go to bed, which is crazy. But he did tell me that he's not working today, so he has a full day to recover. But that's crazy. You might as well just done a 24-hour live stream, Tyler. But nice to see you again, and it was great to hang out with you last night. Would love to know if Tyler agrees with me with my assessment that the third period actually wasn't bad. It's not like the Canucks only played 40 minutes. No, they played a full 60, but they played a full 60 against a very good team. So I did like the Canucks' overall effort, and they certainly outshot the Dallas Stars in all 3 periods. What else did I like? I liked the penalty kill for the Vancouver Canucks. They killed off both of the Dallas Stars' man advantages, and they were a little bit more aggressive than usual. And they only gave up 2 penalties, 2 power plays. So that's pretty good. So overall, their discipline was good. And then when they had to kill penalties, they were very good. Good morning. Dino's in the house. Dino and Mena as well. Nice to see you guys in the morning. Line change says 24-hour live stream. That's your thing. No. Anyone can do it. I like the Canucks in the faceoff dot, 61.4%. And notice that David Camp took a lot of those defensive zone draws where PD was able to start more in the offensive zone. And speaking of PD, I like PD's game once again. He got the goal. It was credited with that second goal after it was originally given to Jake DeBrusk. And an assertive game from PD. He had 6 shots and 2 hits. No blocks. So that's weird for him because he's usually blocking at least 1 or 2 shots. But he had 6 shots himself, 2 hits. Yes, he was a -2. Him and Sherwood, Myers and Marcus Pearson, they're all on the goal on the ice for the first 2 goals for the Stars, and then Kane was on for one of them, and I think Besser was on for the other. So not the best start defensively, but overall I did think PD was the best Canuck out there. Him and DeBrusk were noticeable. DeBrusk had 6 shots as well. So DeBrusk and PD had 6 shots apiece, which is pretty good. But I thought PD had a good game. The only thing I didn't like was about PD's game was there's one opportunity where he's coming down Main Street, skating basically right at Tyler and me, and then he decided not to shoot. I think it was on a power play too, but he still controlled the puck, which is good. It's not like he gave it away. So those are some things that I did like. I did like the Canucks' effort overall, and it was a complete game against a very good team. I like the Canucks' discipline. I like the Canucks' penalty killing. I like their face-offs, and I like the play of Elias Pettersson. So those are some things that I like. Let's get to what I didn't like. And despite the loss, it's not a long laundry list of things, but the most glaring thing to me, the most glaring thing to me was the Canucks power play. You might say, Clay, well, they went 1 for 5. That's 20%. That's league average or whatever. That's about average. That's fine. Yeah, but inside of there was a 5-on-3 for a minute 20 in the second period. That was, if they could have scored 2 goals would be nice, but even 1 goal, that would have put a completely different complexion on this game. So despite the fact that they did get 1 power play goal, I do think that they could have done better on the power play and made it a lot easier on themselves. What the heck? C-Edits is saying it's an all-night. What are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? Nice to see you, Clay. Thank you, Dino. Would you ever do 24-hour live stream, but with like Le Mans rules? So you stream until you need a rest, and then some newest take over. Who's newest? Okay. I'm not sure because I want to just make the 24-hour live stream once a year. And yes, hello to everyone that is here. So other things I didn't like the Canucks start, obviously giving up that goal 1 minute into the game. That wasn't great. I didn't like the actual errors on a couple of the Canucks goals. Like the first goal, a bunch of them standing around, but it got fished out from underneath Lankinen. The second goal was a giveaway by Sherwood. The third goal was a giveaway by McEachran, then a bad pinch by Verlander, and then a bad read by Hughes. So 3 mistakes on the third goal. And the fourth goal, that was a world-class play by Mikko Rantanen, who could have been suspended because of his actions in the prior game against the Islanders. But that was a world-class goal. But I stand by my reasoning. I think that Lankinen could have gotten that one. He could have saved that one. Again, a really good goal by a world-class player. But you need that save with a minute and a half left when you are trying yourself to pull yourself. To pull the goalie to get that extra attacker, and then Lankinen lets that one in. Again, a really good play by Mikko Rantanen. Rantanen on Lankinen, and then I guess the other thing I didn't like. No, that's enough. That's enough for now. So I didn't like the lack of power on the power play. I didn't like the slow start. Didn't like the coverage on a few goals, but overall the Canucks played a decent game for sure. Now, let's get to the third thing. One other thing. Now, this one gonna have to explain a little bit, and probably show you the standings too. You might say, "Well, big deal, Captain Obvious," but my one other thing today is indeed the precarious position that the Canucks sit in the NHL standings. Now, when you look at the actual division, they are in 7th, only ahead of Calgary, and we're playing them on Sunday. We better whoop them because they suck. So I always say that, the sucky Calgary Flames. That's what I call them now. At least they're not like way ahead in games played, which they often are. But the gap is starting to widen a little bit. Remember last week it was 5 points or 4 points separating 6 or 7 teams. Now the gap is at just 7 points, and the Canucks are now 2 games under 500. So whether you look at it as 7th in the division, whether you look at it as, this is actually the nicest one to look at, you could say that they're only 4 out of a wild card spot, but they got a leapfrog over 5 teams. And then when you look at the league, this one isn't look good. They are 28th in the league in terms of both points and points percentage. I keep talking about this Thanksgiving, U.S. Thanksgiving barometer, which is this Thursday, and 75% of teams that are over the playoff bar at U.S. Thanksgiving end up making the playoffs. Not a perfect stat, but it's still 3 out of every 4, and the Canucks are not above that playoff bar. So will they get there with wins over Calgary and Anaheim? They'll get a lot closer, that's for sure. But as of right now, they are not above that playoff bar. And again, not a perfect statistic, but it is something to look at for sure. So my one other thing for tonight, for last night's game, is good effort, yes, but they need more than moral victories now. We can praise their effort. We can commend them on their effort. We can affirm their effort. All those things are true, but they need to start bagging some points. That's for sure. So that's my one other thing. And then we'll quickly get into the last category for today. So it's what I liked, what I didn't like, what's one other thing, and what they said. And this is listening to post-game interviews. So last night they posted Adam Foote, Elias Pettersson, Aatu Räty. Do you guys notice that they really put Elias Pettersson out in front of everyone? That's because he's been playing well the last 5 games, right? He has 9 points in the last 5 games. So PD mentioned that they played well, that Dallas is a very good team. PD kind of said that moral victories thing as well. He said, a couple reporters were asking, well, you guys seem to play much more aggressive on the penalty kill. You guys seem to have more movement on the power play. You guys seem to be really structurally sound. And PD said, yeah, all those things are true, but they didn't win the game. And I really like that attitude. He didn't dismiss the reporter or say, that opinion sucks or whatever. But he did say, we're not going to get too comfortable. We're not too happy because we didn't get 2 points. And I really like that from PD. Also was brought up that David Kampf got more defensive zone starts, so that freed PD to be more involved in the offense and take more offensive zone faceoffs. He mentioned that as well. But overall, and then he lamented their lack of power on that 5-on-3 power play. So that's where PD noticed that the game turned as well. Hello, Unpaved. Nice to see you. And anyone else, Fangirl, anyone else I didn't say hi to earlier, thanks for being here. Then they went to Aatu Räty, and it was nice to hear from Räty. I think it's the first time that we've heard from him all season. But he talked about, he doesn't know Rantanen that well, but a fellow countryman, and how he's very good, how he looks up to him. So he talked about Rantanen's skill. He talked about how he's getting more comfortable with matchups, how he's getting utilized more. They say that, but now that I think about it, what was Räty's ice time? Yeah, it was only 10 minutes, so I'm not sure what they're getting at there, but Räty is looking more comfortable. Did say they got to go to the net more, even though they outshot Dallas by a wide margin. And it was just nice to hear from Räty for the first time, I believe, this season, and just talk about how he's getting more comfortable with his game. Then they went to Adam Foote, and a few things that Adam Foote mentioned. He mentioned definitely that he thought the Canucks were the better team. He made a comment like Dallas was scared, but Dallas was uncomfortable. They made the Stars uncomfortable. I don't know. That might be a bit of a stretch, but Adam Foote was still remarkably positive and a little bit more subdued, though. I can tell the losing's getting to him, and I'm not sure if he's fearing for his job. I'm not saying he needs to, but I did notice that he was a little bit more subdued for sure. And so there was that. He did talk about how that structurally and systems wise, they played very well. They had Dallas on their heels. Talked about their good penalty killing. Did talk about that he liked what he saw in the power play, despite them not scoring on the 5-on-3. Didn't really address that. Talked a little bit about deployment as well, and the challenge of not being able to match up on the road. Right, the home team gets last change, but then he's able to manipulate those matchups at home. So I think the biggest thing from Foote was he loved the Canucks' effort. He loved their penalty kill. He thought that they made Dallas uncomfortable, and kind of like what I said, he didn't think the Canucks had a poor third period as others may have done. So let me get to my Mitchell sponsor read, and then I will take all of your questions and comments for the last 10 to 15 minutes of the show. And I do have to wrap up right at 8 o'clock today because I got to get out to South Surrey. I got to get out to White Rock for an all-day meeting, an all-day planning session. So we start off by thanking my primary sponsor, and that's Jason Lim of Van City Experts. Thank you to my channel sponsor, Jason Lim of Van City Experts Real Estate. At Van City Experts, their experience, knowledge, and expertise can serve you well in navigating through the real estate market and will help you to choose the best home or condo in the greater Vancouver area that best suits your and your family's needs. Thank you to my secondary sponsors, Gassy Jack Art. You can check them out at gassyjackart.com. Jack makes the wonderful artwork that you see surrounding me in my home studio. So once again, gassyjackart.com. Thank you to Mulligan Golf Company, mlgngolf.com, golfing accessories and apparel. They're in the middle of their big 3-week Black Friday sale. And thanks to my secondary sponsor, my supporting sponsor, Vessi Footwear. Use the link tinyurl.com/VessiClay and receive a free pair of socks off your next purchase of Vessi shoes. Thanks to everyone who's purchased Canuck Clay merch. You can do so at canuckclay.threadless.com. Don't forget ways that you can get involved this morning. You can subscribe to the channel, like the video. You can leave the first donation of the morning. You can gift a membership, buy your own membership, upgrade your membership, use your monthly membership message. You can do all of those things in this morning stream. Right now, the leaderboard is wide open. Simon has 150, and then everyone else has 75 points. Will anyone break through? We shall see. And then also reminders that my next show is Sunday at 11. So back to Sunday because the Canucks don't play until Sunday night. But if you're at the game on Sunday, would love to say hi to you. I'll be doing my usual first intermission meetup outside of section 316 in the Legends locker room display. So if you're at the game on Sunday, watching the Canucks versus the Flames, would love to say a quick hello. It was great last night. It was me. It was Tyler. It was Swervin Yrvin. It was Ian. It was Johnny Boy. It was Somi, and it was Brent. And I would love to see you. Game is early. Don't forget. It's 6 o'clock on Sunday. So I'll have plenty of time to get home. Maybe even eat some late night sushi, then get home for my 11 o'clock show. So Sunday, 11 o'clock. And then if you're at the game, would love to meet you during the first intermission. All right, 7:49. That leaves 10 minutes for questions and comments. And I'll start here. Unpaved. Nice to see you. Canucks are in trouble. We need better defense. Yes. That was supposed to be the strong part of our team. Too bad about Demko. Yes. I've been away. Did the Canucks send Baines down? Nope. He's still on the roster, but he's been the forward that's been a healthy scratch. And then on D, P.O. Joseph has been a healthy scratch. That means I'm missing one. Oh, Lucas Reichel was a healthy scratch. And Unpaved says, give Clay a like. That's good advice. Simon, what's your prediction about the Vancouver game on Sunday? I think the Canucks are going to win. I think they're gonna win big. I'm going to go 5-2 Canucks. How do you think they're going to do in your opinion? They should win. Calgary sucks, right? They're the team that's worse than us. So let's go 5-2 Vancouver. If the Canucks power play was so good, they would have scored on that 5-on-3. Yeah, Fangirl, that's the exact point I made is they went 1 for 5, which statistically is okay. Why can't I say that word? Statistically, 1 for 5, 20%, but it's situational too. They have to score on that 5-3. J-Lo, am I dreaming? I'm afraid to comment. It might show I don't have a life. What do you mean? What do you say about everyone else? J-Lo, welcome. Who doesn't have life? This guy who streams twice a day. Unpaved says, thanks. You're welcome. Reichel was apparently a last-minute scratch. Oh, that's good to know, Tyler. I did not know that. How did you know that? You're so busy getting your white spot hot dog, missing hamburger, missing 3 goals. Just teasing Tyler, but yes, he showed up to the seats 10 minutes into the game and missed 3 goals. But he said he saw it. He said he saw it on the screens. Do you have nightmares again about Blackwell? No, I don't. I had a really good sleep last night. Actually, no, I didn't. I went to bed really late. But no, I do not have nightmares about Blackwell. But that was his really nice assist, right, on the goal. Was he the one who did the behind the blind behind the back pass from the boards to Faxa for that game-winning goal? Yeah, didn't like the way Hughes played that for sure. I saw a tweet about it. Very good, very good. Yes, the 3-2 goal. Yes, the one where Hughes kind of went to him. Yeah, no, all good, all good. No, you didn't. I'm sure. I know it was in good fun, and no, of course, I'm sure you didn't offend anyone here. People here have strong skin, for sure. I'm just happy that you're here, JLo. So keep commenting. Now that's twice you've commented. Keep going, keep going. All right, guys. If you're at the game like Tyler and I was, or if you watched the game, tell me what you liked. Tell me what you didn't like, and tell me one other thing. I got about 7 minutes left with you guys. Would love to hear from you. What did you like? What didn't you like? And what's one other thing? Bern from Germany. Good to see you on a Friday afternoon at 4:50 p.m. German time. Nice. Your weekend has just started, Bern. Another roller coaster season from the Canucks. Yeah, less drama than last year, but that was supposed to lead to better play. And yeah, roller coaster is a good way of putting it. Ups and downs, inconsistency. Yeah, they got to straighten out. They got to straighten out soon. I actually watched half of the third period. Okay, that's not bad for a Columbus Blue Jackets fan. That is not bad at all. We will take that. We will take that. Didn't like Kane. That Kane played so much again. Yeah, he had 20 minutes, but he was actually the 4th highest Canucks in terms of time on ice. PD had 24, 43. Garland had 23, 38. Besser had 21. And then Kane had 19, 23. What did Kane have? 2 shots and 2 hits. So not the most noticeable, but he was okay. He was okay. Was Hronek a mistake? I wouldn't say so. I think he's logged some good minutes, especially when Hughes was out. He was asked to step up both on the power play 1 and just in terms of minutes. No, I don't think he was a mistake at all. Drew O'Connor needs to play more. That is fair. That is fair. What did he have last night? And he played okay. Like, he's noticeable. He drew that penalty. No, he took that penalty. Yeah, he only played 11:27. So he's got to utilize his speed and his size a bit more for sure. Tyler, one other thing. Joe had quite the hot take on the stream. Okay, I will have to check that out unless you want to somehow articulate it by typing it out so I don't have to scrub through 2.5 hours of your show. What a hit at the power play. Yep. Hate is a very strong word, but you can tell how you feel about that fangirl. What you like, we scored 2 goals. One other thing, Lankinen was too aggressive. Yeah, that first goal, he was certainly too aggressive for sure. But then the 4th goal, I thought he was not aggressive enough. He was back, pinned back. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought Lankinen was okay. No bottom line for Kane. Yeah, I think offensively, right, he hasn't scored a lot of goals, but points-wise, unless he maybe has fallen off a little bit. But I thought he had 11 in 20. Maybe now he has 11 and 22. Let me look real quick. So I'm not disputing what you're saying. I just want to see what he actually has so I can properly comment on it. So Kane has, 11 points in now 22 games. So he's on pace for 40. Isn't that kind of what we expected, though? Maybe not. Drew O'Connor was a first liner with 87 last year. Wow, that's a little bit surprising, actually. JLo, do you think it's time for Besser, PD, DeBrusque? Yeah, they weren't great, though, when they were together. You could say that PD had more success with Garland. Although, yeah, I would actually... But is Kampf, Besser, DeBrusque too slow? But that's what they did yesterday, right? And then they had Sherwood... No, sorry. They had Besser, Garland with Kampf. And then they started at least PD with Kane and Sherwood. Then I think they went to PD, Kane, Garland halfway through the game. Yeah, I'm not sure if Besser, PD DeBrusque, if it wasn't, I'm not sure if it was the best combo, to be honest with you, to start the season. I'm not going to worry about Anaheim, Simon. We're going to worry about the Calgary game first. Kane has scored in 2 only. Yeah, 2 goals, 9 assists. Yeah, for sure. I haven't checked. Is there practice for the team? The Canucks did tweet about it. Well, not the Canucks. Canucks PR. And I can tell you what they said. Canucks PR. It says November 21st, team day off. So no practice today, no media today. Line change, it's about Hughes. Should be around the hour and a half mark. I think I'll be clipping it and doing a short for it. I will find it then. Maybe I'll wait for your short. And I can't wait to hear what he has to say. Pavel Mint at the Disney team wants to trade. Mint must be short for something, right? Although he must have really good smelling breath. It wasn't working before because PD is still getting his game on. I see what you're saying. Yeah, PD did have a slow start to the season, but maybe he could drive that line a bit better. That's fair, JLo. That's fair. I think that's actually a pretty good take, actually. Nick, I'm so upset Sorry, I'm so upset the Blackhawks Black Third sold out so quick. I was going to get it, but it was sold out as soon as it went on sale. Oh, dang, that's too bad. Are they going to do another release, Nick, or is that it for you? Mintikov. Mintikov. I don't know how to spell it. I'm going to trust you, Jackie. I'm going to trust you. Nice to see you, Nick. All right, guys, we got 2 more minutes. I actually didn't see the game misconduct. I was too busy watching our team. How do you keep abreast of everything, Tyler? No, I did not see that game misconduct. I will have to look that up. Maybe Nick will have a last minute comment about that game misconduct for Connor Bedard. All right, friends, last minute or so. Let's get your last. Thank you, Unpaved. Don't know. Hopefully they will have them at United Center. Good luck. Abusive officials. That didn't sound good. Any updates on Hoglander? Yes. Adam Foote spoke about him 2 days ago. C-Edits said that they originally said 7 to 10 weeks for Hoglander. They're at the 7 to 7.5 week mark, and that's about right. So they're saying about 2 or 3 weeks left. I would love to have him on the team right now. Tyler's the new Steve Dangle, perhaps. Although there's only one Steve Dangle, but there is only one Tyler Gibbs as well. Final minute, my friends. Last minute to leave a donation. Last minute to get a question. Last minute to tell me what you liked, what you didn't like, and one other thing. And then I will have to shut this down and get going to my meeting. PD and Hogs duo might be a better option. Yeah, that's a great point, C-Edits. That's a really good point. Game misconduct was weak because the ref literally didn't call a penalty that should have been called for a penalty shot. And then I'm sure Bedard was complaining, probably rightfully so, perhaps. And then he gets his game misconduct. How is Camp? First game invisible. Well, he was visible because he was -3, but that was without a practice. Yesterday he was +1, played 13 minutes. 2 shots, 1 block, 2 hits, so not bad. And still didn't really notice him a lot on the ice, but he was taking more draws in the defensive zone, which helped PD. Oh, unsportsmanlike, not game misconduct. There we go. All right, friends, it's just about 8. I got to get going. So moderators, thank you for keeping this a safe and respectful place. Members, that's legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Line Change, legendary Carol Bovenlander, legendary Brian Blingy Choi, legendary Swervin Yrvin, legendary Quinn Hughes, looks like the WWF'S $1 Million Man, and legendary Andrew Chang. Hall of Fame and franchise members, thanks for your support as well. Thanks to all of you for watching, liking, subscribing. On your way out, you can like the video, you can subscribe, you can leave a donation. And thanks to my sponsors, Vancy Express Real Estate, Gassy Jack Art, and Mulligan Golf Company. And don't forget, my next show is Sunday night at 11 p.m. after the Canucks hopefully beat the Flames. That means I'll have a Clay M Monday morning. That means, and I'm at the game, would love to see you guys there. First intermission meetup outside of section 316. Thanks to you guys for joining me in this morning. I think the first week went well. Not sure if it's moving the needle much. I'll probably give it one more week to see how we're doing and then see if this makes sense going forward. But if you like the morning streams, would love to hear about it. By the way, Swervin Yrvin scoops in. That's also what I like to see. This is his favorite dono drop. So thank you, Swervin Yrvin. Let's give some love to legendary Swervin Yrvin for the $7 donation as he cooks up ravioli. Actually, I don't know that for sure. Can't confirm or deny. But thank you, Swervin Yrvin, for the donation. Appreciate you. And with that, Swervin Yrvin takes the leaderboard through 325 points. Simon with second at 150, and then a bunch of people tied with 75 points. So that late dono gives Swervin Yrvin the win on the leaderboard. Ravioli comes through once again. Yeah, thank you, Sietas. I think so too, and it helps when the Canucks win. But we're going to keep on going, and I'll try it for another week or two. All right, friends, speaking of keep on going, I got to get going. So thank you. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. By the way, yesterday I told my friend that I think he'd make a great father because I have a sixth sense about those kind of things. I see dad people. That's a dad joke for sure. God bless, and go Canucks go. Booyah.